You have seen it happen. A woman walks in for a pixie cut, walks out looking somehow older than when she arrived. Nobody warned her. Nobody told her which version works, and which version takes 10 years in the wrong direction. Let's change that. I research worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work instantly. Today we are perfecting the pixie cut for women over 60. And by part 3, you will want to pause this video, pick up your phone, and call your stylist. I mean it. We are covering 4 mistakes that are quietly aging your face right now. In part 2, I will show you the one texture technique that makes your bone structure look sculpted without a single gram of filler. And the very first mistake? It is the most common one I see. And most women have no idea they are making it. Let's go. Part 1. The bowl-shaped pixie that rounds your face. Have you ever looked at a photo of yourself and thought, something is off, but I cannot pinpoint what? If your pixie cut sits heavy around the ears and tapers in one uniform line all the way around, that shape has a name. It is the bowl. And it is quietly working against every beautiful feature you have. Here is what most women are never told. As we age, the face naturally loses volume in the cheeks and temples. A bowl-shaped pixie adds visual weight exactly where you have lost it, at the sides, and removes attention from exactly where you want it, which is up and forward toward your eyes and cheekbones. The shape does the opposite of what you need. This is the one that made a friend of mine stop mid-conversation and ask her stylist why her face suddenly looked wider after a cut she thought would be freeing. The fix is not dramatic. You do not need more length. You need shape. Ask your stylist for soft disconnection at the sides, meaning the hair near your ears and temples should be noticeably lighter and shorter than the top. That contrast pulls the eye upward and inward. It works with your bone structure instead of fighting it. If you are still wearing a one-length perimeter all the way around, swap it for a tapered side with a textured crown. The difference reads immediately. Your face does not need framing. It needs lifting. Think of the pixie like sculpture. Negative space at the sides creates the illusion of height and definition that brings out the natural elegance you already carry in your jaw and cheekbones. Maintenance tip. Ask your stylist to taper the sides every 4 to 5 weeks. The moment the sides grow into the top, the bowl begins to return. You needed to hear this. Coming up in part 2, I am going to show you the texture mistake that makes fine hair look even thinner, and the one adjustment that fixes it in a single appointment. Part 2, the flat top pixie that flattens everything else. You spent 40 minutes in that chair. You left feeling hopeful. But by the time you got home and looked in natural light, something felt flat. Not just the hair. Your whole face. That is what a pixie with no volume at the crown does. It presses everything down. Here is the truth nobody says out loud. Fine hair after 60 has less natural lift than it did at 30. That is not a flaw. It is biology. But a stylist who cuts your pixie without building in structural volume at the crown is ignoring the one tool that changes your entire silhouette. There is one technique that changes how your entire face reads on camera and in person. And it takes your stylist exactly 4 minutes to do. It is called point cutting into the crown. Instead of cutting across the top in flat horizontal lines, the stylist cuts downward into the hair at a diagonal angle. That breaks up the surface, creates micro-movement, and gives fine hair the illusion of fullness without a single gram of product. Honestly, I wish someone had told me about this technique a decade ago instead of letting me walk around with a flat cap on top of an otherwise beautiful face. If you are still using a cut where the top lies perfectly smooth, swap it for a point-cut crown with soft internal layers. The volume is not added from outside. It is built into the cut itself. This one is everything. Your styling routine matters too. After washing, tip your head forward while diffusing the crown section. That one habit alone can add visible lift that lasts all day without extra product. The maintenance tip here is simple. Protect that crown texture between cuts by sleeping on a silk pillowcase. Cotton crushes fine hair at the root overnight, and by morning that lift you worked for is gone. Part 3 is where things get real, because the next mistake is not about shape or volume, it is about color. And it is the one that most women over 60 are making without a single suspicion. Part 3, the all-over gray that erases your features. Let me say something important before anything else. Gray hair can be absolutely stunning on a woman over 60, but there is a version of gray that works beautifully, and there is a version that washes your face out completely. Right now, I want to help you see which one you have. If your pixie is one uniform shade of gray or white from root to tip with no variation, no dimension, and no contrast near your face, your hair color is likely fading your features instead of framing them. Here is the insight that changes everything. As skin loses some of its natural warmth and pigment over the decades, it needs contrast near the face to look luminous. Flat all-over gray reflects the same tone as your skin and creates what colorists call a gray-on-gray effect, where everything blurs together and your eyes, your lips, and your bone structure disappear into the background. This is the one that made my colorist pause mid-consultation and say, "We are not adding color, we are adding light." The fix is not going darker. It is adding strategic highlights, specifically around the face, the temples, and the crown. A few carefully placed brighter pieces near your hairline create the contrast your features need to pop. Champagne tones, soft warm whites, or platinum pieces woven through a silver base create dimension without looking processed. If you are still wearing flat all-over gray with no variation, swap it for a lived-in gray with 2 or 3 shades of brightness concentrated near the face. The difference is not subtle. It is immediate. Maintenance tip: ask your colorist to refresh just the face framing pieces every 6 to 8 weeks, even if the rest of the color is growing out naturally. That concentrated brightness near your features carries the entire look between full appointments. Yes, that's simple. Part 4 is where we close out with the mistake most women save for last, and probably should have fixed first. It is about the neckline. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Part 4. The neglected neckline that undoes everything. You have the shape right. You have the volume right. You might even have the color right. But if your stylist is leaving the neckline untouched between appointments, all that careful work is being quietly undone every single week. The neckline is the frame at the bottom of your pixie, and when it grows out soft, fuzzy, and undefined, it sends one signal that has nothing to do with style. It signals that the cut is growing out. And a growing out pixie on a woman over 60 reads as age, not ease. Here is the key insight. A pixie cut lives or dies at its edges. When the neckline is clean and shaped, whether it is a soft natural taper or a crisp defined line, the cut looks intentional. It looks chosen. That intention is what signals elegance instead of neglect. Honestly, a clean neckline is the one thing that separates a polished pixie from a cut that just looks like it needs a trim. The fix does not require a full appointment. Ask your stylist to schedule a neck cleanup between your main cuts. Many salons offer this as a quick standalone service. At home, a small cordless trimmer along the neckline every 10 days to 2 weeks keeps the edges defined without touching the shape of the cut itself. If you are still letting the neckline grow soft between full appointments, swap that habit for a scheduled cleanup every 2 to 3 weeks. The cut will look freshly styled even in week 5. Your natural elegance deserves a frame worthy of it, and a clean neckline is exactly that frame. Maintenance tip: keep a small photo of your neckline at its cleanest on your phone. Show it to your stylist at every appointment, so the shape never creeps in the wrong direction. Those beautiful eyes and that bone structure have always been there. Now your pixie is finally doing them justice. You just learned 4 pixie cut mistakes that most women spend years fixing by trial and error, and you now know exactly what to ask for instead. Your bone structure was always this strong. Your features were always this defined. Now your cut will finally show them the way they deserve to be seen. Tell me in the comments, which of these 4 mistakes were you making without realizing it? Was it the bowl shape, the flat crown, the all-over gray, or the forgotten neckline? I want to know. Next time, we are looking at the one earring mistake that adds years to any hairstyle, including the pixie. You will not want to miss it. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I will see you in the next one.